Oops, sorry. Hi everyone. I accidentally clicked the wrong scene, and a few other wrong scenes, but okay. So welcome to another Tarcy Talks. It's been what, we skipped 2 weeks because there's a lot of stuff, a lot of work to be done at school, and it's busy, and even now medyo busy pa din. And for some students who are hopefully not working on third quarter stuff anymore. Sana fourth quarter lang iniisip nyo. And for those in college, alam ko medyo hell week na ngayon for some students. And yeah. So today it's just going to be a pretty short stream. Sir Q is not available because, as you know, he is at Attorney Q. He is at his oath taking, or at least he was earlier this afternoon. So he's just doing a few more stuff. And so probably just a short stream. And to help me, I've invited a few other people to kind of help me, because as much as I can probably monologue, I have a lot of experience monologuing these past 2 years in my classroom. But I'm sure we all prefer discussion. So okay, I invited a few of my old students, and hopefully they can join us. Well, they are in the call already, and they will kind of help move along our conversation. So hang on, let me just fix the scene so that's come up okay. Oops. Okay, but anyway, so for today we're just going to not exactly a chill topic. The title is School Rants, but basically, I don't know. So as you might know, SCOCOM is just finished, or you might not know, but okay, so we had our scholarship committee meetings last week, and tensions can. Okay, I think I am back. Not sure. I am basing it on the color on my OBS. Hang on. Let's see. I'm not sure if people are seeing me. Hang on. Just make sure that my connection is okay. One moment. Okay, I think I connected. Even though my computer is not telling me that. Okay. Okay. I'm. Should I just assume that I'm live? I don't know, my connection's lagging so much that I can't see chat, so I can't even check chat. Hang on. Let me pull up on my phone. One moment. Going. Let's just see. Okay, I see that I'm live somehow, but I just can't see it on my computer. But let's just Anyway, so things are working supposedly. I just can't see it, but yeah. So I have people helping me, and just a forewarning. Yeah, my internet's kind of weird, so if this crashes, then well, sorry. Okay, so let's switch over to my students. One moment. Hello. I cannot undeafen. I'm lagging so much that I can't undeafen from Discord. Why is that a thing? Hang on. Hello. Discord. Okay, I think I am back. Hello? Hello?
Really? Grabe. Buti
Ay.
ka pa fresh.
True.
Ayun. Okay,
Yeah.
I think.
Hi, sir.
Sorry, my internet is super laggy right now, so if ever maputol to, ayun. Okay, hang on. Let me just fix my camera so that you guys can see me.
Okay.
Where's that thing? Where's? Okay. Okay, so yeah, so just to introduce you guys to the stream. So I'm joined tonight by Ryan and Gracie, who are alumni from batch 2020. So yeah, Gracie was in my advisory class in grade 9, and Ryan was, well, ano ba? Just another student.
Favorite class.
Favorite ba talaga? O yung favorite ni Sir Po, no?
Pwede.
Switch tayo.
Switch ba?
Okay, so I invited them on, and so hopefully we talk a little about maybe some of the. Kasi yun nga, I was explaining to the stream earlier while I was deafened, na there are probably a lot of frustrations that kind of happen during the school year, na yung mga tipong why does the school do this? Why does teachers do that? And there are a lot of why do students do this in the SCOCOM? So that I am not at liberty to divulge because SCOCOM is confidential. But I was just hoping just a casual talk about these things. And maybe you guys can enlighten me about what are some of your frustrations about I don't know, whether it was nung nasa Pisay pa kayo or nung ngayong nasa college na kayo. What do students feel nowadays? What do you think are their common frustrations?
Common frustration.
Ikaw muna, Ryan.
Hindi ko alam if Pisay ito kasi I don't know how systems in Pisay. Ano ba? Gusto ba natin Pisay problems or...
I mean, it's good kung Pisay, but it doesn't have to be.
Siguro probably if it's like Pisay, like yung pag when the deadlines, like syempre there's gonna be like a peace time. Like, okay, lectures tayo, okay, quizzes, okay, kaya. And then when the hell week starts and like every deadline starts knocking on the door. And then you're like, wait, teka. Tapos sige, yan. And then mamaya mapapansin mo na lang on a certain day you have like 5 exams, 2 papers, 3 quizzes, ganon. And then siguro napamove mo yung iba, but that just increases the load the next day. And then it's kind of like a domino effect na parang naiinis ka lang na ang dami. Pero parang, alam mo yun, parang ayaw mo na maraming work mo the next day. Pero if hindi mo siya na-move, maraming gagawin mo today. Parang, it's kind of like lose-lose situation. And then, I think medyo gets ko pa yun na yun. Kasi ganun rin naman sa amin. Parang, yun. Kaya ikaw ba, Gracie? Nagkaroon ka mga ganun?
Ako sa akin, parang I don't like, actually, I really like school right now. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, it's really fun. Pero, what I could see na differences from now compared to before was that it really felt that there was this rigidity in the system that you couldn't really change. Like you'd feel bad if you're gonna have to ask a prof, gonna have to ask a teacher to move a deadline, diba? But then the thing is, before it wasn't really, yeah, sabi nga ni Ryan, it wasn't really well scheduled. Tumatambak lang yung mga recs mo. And like how high school students are just really bad at time management. We don't know what's going to happen in the next few weeks. So sabihin na lang natin na, oh, sige, okay lang yan. It's going to like it's gonna happen eventually. I might as well do it like 5 days before the deadline. Tapos yun pala 5 projects ka naman on the same deadline. So anong gagawin mo? You're gonna stay up late and everything. So what I don't like about it is when kasi especially for Pisay, 'di ba? Parang everything is you guys are we're such a small community in a way na it's easier to coordinate those things compared to larger scale.
That's true.
Yeah, on a larger scale. So if you have the capacity to organize those deadlines, then and then make sure that if you have the capacity to organize those deadlines in a way that people aren't rushing, then do so, diba? Pero yun nga lang, if ever you're in high school, you're just multitasking everything and you're not able to keep up. Yeah, and it sucks after that. Yun nga lang.
I can see a lot of a lot of angles to this issue kasi for example, there's the one part na well, honestly, ideally, this is all managed by the matrix of requirements. Pero I mean, the matrix of requirements is such. I mean, it helps it's better that we have it compared to not. Pero at the same time, it's also such a fluid document. Na parang, so, kasi I was thinking, okay, say we have the matrix of requirements, and one of the problems, I suppose, and okay, one advantage of high school, I suppose, over college is that there's still a chance of coordination between so say for example you have nagpapatong na deadline, teachers can talk and coordinate, and then okay, let's kind of shuffle things. Pagka nasa college ka, if you're in Ateneo or UP, I mean, your math professor is not going to talk to your physics professor and rearrange their exams. That's not gonna happen. Ooh. So you're just going to have to really just take it. The only exception probably is na talagang magkasabay yung exam mo, which shouldn't be the case. Pero pagdating sa when it comes to Pisay, so there is the possibility of moving it, but yun nga, the downside of that is everything starts shuffling down. You start getting less and less space. Everything starts to get cramped. So so do you think if ever moving forward, should the matrix of requirement be less fluid, na parang okay, ito yung long test nyo, nakaset na ito, even kasi admittedly pagka ako parang if someone says, sir, let's move the exam, parang I mean, unless there's a reason not to, then I'll move it. So do you think na people will benefit more if parang teachers were more strict na parang, no, this is the date of the exam and we'll take it there? Parang is that parang to avoid that headache later down the line?
Oh, I could see some benefit to it kasi parang at least parang yung angle is that at least you get it over with, diba? It's done na. It's not part of your workload anymore. Pero at the same time, parang I think it's hard for students to prepare more for them. Kung ganun. Na parang, oh my God, there's less time. At least, siguro, it's medyo coping na like, if you move it to a day that still has requirements, parang, you're coping na, since alam nila na move, parang, they're more incentivized to do better and prepare better. Even if there's like additional load. Sometimes I think that way na parang, okay, oh thank God na, thank the heavens na, na move siya. Pero, katapat niya lab rep to. Okay lang, at least, di ba? Parang, I don't have to like, at least by then, mas prepared ako. And, I know for sure that I should have like done my part in like, or multitask the lab rep. Pero yun nga, parang, hindsight, pagod pa rin ako either way.
That's
It's just
true.
that by moving it, you kind of give yourself a like pseudo space to breathe, I guess, but not really. Ganun. So, yeah, yun lang naman.
Pero I was thinking na if ever that becomes like a policy na okay, Pisay suddenly starts to say na okay, we said that we'll have the exam on this day. It doesn't change no matter what. So there has to be siguro some kind of tool na if there is a topic that is supposed to be in the exam, kailangan na cover na yon at least 2 or 3 meetings prior. Hindi pwedeng yung
Tama.
tapos biglang 5 questions lang exam out of the supposed 30 questions. So
Actually, sige ikaw. Ikaw muna.
It's like it has to be a sign of the time. Like kasi ayoko talaga sa rigid deadlines. Like parang students have to think of it as like it's not going to be moved talaga, so you have to prepare for it on the day itself. Pero not everything happens like right now we have elections, diba? So syempre naman gusto mo natin pumunta sa mga rally, lumabas tayo, mag house to house and everything. So it's not like everything is the same as when we expected from the start of the school year na okay, like kids are not gonna do anything anyway on this, not gonna do anything outside of ACADS anyway. That's the mindset of some people. So they're going to give the deadlines medyo spaced out and everything. Pero I think na if ever we're going, where am I going with this? I feel that if ever it's not good to keep things rigid, but at the same time parang as students, when we ask for things to be moved or when we ask for deadlines to be modified, we're gonna hold responsibility for it ourselves. Okay, this is our decision that we want to make it move, and we're gonna like the next time around, we're going to take in more responsibility. We're gonna put in more effort for this one requirement because we got it moved, and now we gotta make up for it.
Pero example ko sir, kasi in our case, like last sem, very fluid yung deadlines. Like I'm not talking about exams, but more of like the final deadlines of the worksheet, like learning periods, ganun. Very fluid siya. Like it's okay, ganun. Syempre, like it's to help people adjust. I think a lot of people abuse that and like like didn't submit at like that's the first dates. It kept on being extended, and the teachers were so tired of giving way that this they a lot of subjects started hard deadlines. Sabi ko gets naman kasi para on time naman din yung teachers and on time naman din kami. Pero napansin ko like with some of my orbits na oh my God, we're so tired compared to last sem. like siguro pero gets ko rin yung parang point na if hard deadline dapat very reasonable na yung deadline na siya or like dapat pag sinabi na yung deadline ito dapat parang there's no other reason why it shouldn't be earlier or later. Kasi yung ang dami mo ng ample time. Kasi yung iba kasi parang probably like experience ko. Some deadlines occur right after exams. Like like kunwari, my exam was about modules 1 to 3. But in the following week, my there's a deadline for modules 4 to 6. And I was like, what? Wait, I have to cram 3 modules in a week? What the fuck? Ay, sorry, no, wala pala. But like, ayun, parang, like hard deadline na, tapos it's very unreasonable to cram it considering na I had an exam the past day. Di ba dapat parang may, cool down period after? Yeah. Oh, man, it's great. In love. Personal experience naman yun. Okay.
Kasama ka ba dun sa sa mga in-extend yung deadline?
What do you mean? Like,
did you follow the recommended deadlines or were you?
I tried to.
Okay.
Pero I'm on time with everything except 2 subjects. Only and then yung isa soft deadline. And then actually yung isa kulang ng deadline. So it's not that bad. Okay.
I guess parang if there was kasi what some teachers do and what some classes do is there's the soft deadline, parang in an ideal pacing scenario you should be here at this point, but this is going to be the hard deadline. Do people pay attention to the soft deadline? Kasi sometimes I feel like wala, hard deadline lang yung pinapansin ng mga tao. Do they actually
optimally, oo. Pero sometimes kasi you have some circumstances na parang like, okay, di ko talaga to kaya by soft deadline, hard deadline it is. Parang ganun. Pero ako, usually, I try to keep it by the soft deadline. Para man lang. Kasi, at the end of it, it's your fault if you don't matabunan ka, di ba? At some point, if you don't really follow the pace.
Yeah.
Ikaw ba, Gracie?
Ako, kaya, like, nowadays I make internal deadlines then. Like kahit hindi yung mga soft deadlines na binibigay ng teachers. Ayoko lang kasi yung minsan na soft deadline pa yung binibigay nila. Like yung mga milestone stuff. Tapos you have to submit. So it's really like it's kind of like a hard deadline that you have to just like do the project only until this point. And then like your progress is stopped from there, diba? So wala ka ng momentum to finish the project eventually. So you're just gonna leave it be like that, half finished until the hard deadline, and then you cram it again. So ayoko rin ng ganun eh. I'd rather do it either like tuloy-tuloy or I have my own types of deadlines and I can do it on my own time. Diba?
But isn't the goal of the parang milestone is parang slow and steady build up na parang by the actual hard deadline tapos na?
Oo eh. Pero it depends talaga on the pace of the
student, no?
Yeah. If they have to adjust to like a soft deadline na medyo hard deadline kasi may submission, then yeah, they're just gonna be twice as stressed kasi they have 2 deadlines to catch up on. You know. I mean, like, okay, honestly, just to bring it up then, I feel that the load for high school was just so much. Like there was so much that we needed to do, not just study, just do. Kasi sobrang it wasn't just input based na tests, but we also had the output based projects, diba? And then we had that format for all of our subjects actually, like biochem, physics. And I think that was what really made things hard in order for us to like organize things and get things done. Kasi you're multitasking on so many levels. And at the same time, hindi siya ideal as a load because teachers expect that they're your own. Like some teachers expect that they're your only subject. Yeah, that was frustrating.
Actually, we've had quite a few visitors sa Pisay the past few weeks, mga alumni, and parang the common thing that they were saying is college feels a lot lighter compared to Pisay. Yung at least in terms of workload na yun, nakapag-game sila, nakapag kung anong mga hobbies. So, I mean,
Si Ryan begs to disagree daw.
talaga.
Well, I do game, but like, at what cost? Kasi, I bought this on myself. I brought this on myself.
Mm.
Well, depende rin, kasi diba sa college, you have the flexibility of adjusting your workload.
That's
So, ayun. Depende rin sa course.
And ikaw kasi meron kang you're busy with your org, no? So, marami kang ginagawa.
Sobrang org heavy kayo eh.
I'm not pretty light naman so far this sem. Last sem may trabaho pero man, oh my god, there's so much ACADS. Okay lang.
Yeah. What about the concept of can I mention this? I've been trying to think. How kasi okay, so teachers syempre they give work, they're expected to study, and this concept of the student's job is to study. Parang that's sometimes what people say na that's why they give the supposedly proportionate amount of work. But well, I mean, you guys are not just students, you also have your own other identities aside from being a student, so parang some of you guys need to fulfill other responsibilities at home or so what do you think about yun nga, parang iisa lang ang tingin sa inyo na school na parang I mean you're a student of the school, so blanket, ito yung mga assignment nyo, pero basically all of you have your own different circumstances. What do you think about that? Parang kailangan ba mas tailor fit or ano bang nyo?
You wanna start ba?
Ikaw muna.
Yeah. Okay. First, shout out daw to Hans. Hi, Malala.
I can't see chat. Sorry, Hans.
Okay. So, yung sa akin kasi, I had a lot of problems with that nung first year actually. Like, I had a lot of family problems. Tapos, I was also doing a lot of stuff around the house. Tapos ngayon naman, I have like part-time job and everything. So, it's hard to juggle things with school. Maybe the thing with Pisay was that you weren't able to adjust your own load to what your needs were. Kasi diba dito, like, you can, if you're in college, you can just drop a subject and you can just take it during the mid-year, diba? Or you can like try to adjust some of the things. Pero there's also the thing na if you're not ready to take in that sort of load, you're really not going to be able to keep up with everything, and then it's just going to keep crumbling down. So I'm not completely sure kasi how they can do that on a system-wide level. Pero for teachers, for profs, like what I've experienced that really helped me during those times were that they were just very open to being more flexible, more adaptive about things. Like for right now, online classes really helped in a way that they have recorded sessions. They're like you're able to do things on your own time. You're able to move things around. Like you don't have to go to class, because if you go to class and you're not ready for class, you're gonna end up sleeping and you're gonna use up that whole hour just being half asleep, half trying to listen to the prof, and you're not gonna get anything done. So yung sa akin ngayon, it's more of just being able to do being able to do things 100% as much as possible. So if you're gonna sleep, if you're not gonna go to class, then don't. If you don't want to go to class, then don't go to class, diba? Pero as long as it's so hard to say that kasi for high school, because if you don't want to go to class, you're never gonna go to class. So I mean, like go to class when you're in a good mindset to go to class. Diba? You just do things, especially like if you're at home, it's hard to have a good routine because there are people like barging in at any time. Baka at any time like baka utusan ka na like gumawa ng anything like magsampay or something.
Mm.
So it's hard to keep a schedule. So it's best to just, the basic self-care, and then plan your ACADS afterwards. Just don't do anything that's too much for you, or else you will be burnt out. And that's gonna be like the worst thing that could happen, I think. You know.
Ako naman, I think para lang siyang face-to-face online diff na pag nasa school ka, para you get the opportunity to like step into the role na full-time student ka as long as you're in school. Pero as long as you're out here, you're like free to do whatever. Pero may homework. Pero na yun kasi parang for me, nagkahalo-halo na lahat na parang hindi ko alam if ako lang or others na parang pagkagising ko ACADS, tapos ACADS, ACADS, kain, ACADS, then tulog. I mean, sometimes it's so hard to fit in some part of the routine kasi nga sample, there's like other parts of your family. Pero sometimes it's just the weight of everything colliding with your personal plans na parang, oh, I have to not hang out muna kasi wala may backlogs or I have like 3 exams coming up, ganun. Medyo hindi ko alam, basta nakakapagod siya. Feeling ko nga ang dami ng burnt out pero kaya pa rin. Para lang hindi ma-GG sa grades or ma-delay or something. Pero there's nothing wrong with getting delayed naman if it means of taking care of yourself more.
That's true.
True.
Pero yun nga, parang I guess the advantage really of the flexible thing of online learning now is you get to, if you need to take a break, then yun, just habol na lang. Kung meron lang para sa mga teacher. Hindi ako pwede umabot sa sing session. I have to be there.
Oo, mahirap pa sa mga teachers.
Ginawa ko last year, so pre-recorded lahat and then I just sit in the Gmeet. I mean, wala akong pumupunta, so it's pretty much free time.
Grabe, in the background lang si Sir. Nakatingin. Dapat pino-on ka mo sila, Sir. Nakatingin. Pinood ba talaga sila?
Hindi, as in kasi, so, I remember my idea nung first year of online learning was parang, I mean, the only benefit of a synchronous class is they can ask questions. Parang and interrupt me while I'm giving the lecture. Pero, I mean, no one asked questions. Parang, have I ever encountered a question? I mean, okay, I have. Pero it's not very often that I have someone interacting with me during class. So, sabi ko, okay, if that's going to be the case, rather than have them struggle through an early class and parang if they miss it, it's gone. Pre-recorded na lang, and then so they can watch it on YouTube. Tapos I am there in the sync class if they want to consult. Pero actually, I was surprised later during the year. There were some students who said na they learn more from a sync class. I'm not sure kasi parang kapag pre-recorded daw, parang they have to watch it like 3 times para mag-gets nila or something like that. Pagka sync class, they try to pay more attention. So at least that's what some students say. Of course, I guess it depends on the student.
I think depende rin sa sync sessions. So or sa prof. Yeah.
Depende sa prof, di ba? Depende.
Kasi if it's like, if it's like something na parang yung pre-recorded, it leaves no room for interpretation. Like lahat na nandun. Like he stated everything. Then na you just have to fiddle and you just have to find it. Pero like may mga trick cases na hindi na discuss or may mga tips and tricks na hindi nasabi. Hindi kulang pa yung pre-recorded doon, kailangan pa maghanap ng additional resources or magtanong sa prof. Pero sometimes kasi parang yung sync then I've encountered syncs na I've benefited from going and syncs na I did not benefit from going kasi parang alam mo siya, masyadong complex na siya understand at my current pace. Parang, I can't, like, anong point of going to a sync if you don't understand like a percent of it?
Mm.
Like, Pero when you do understand it, I think dun talaga yung mga where the other comments na you've learned from sync kasi may flexibility of actually asking the prof na, wait, that's sir. Ano to kung ganito? Ganun.
Mm.
At the time. Kasi iba mas efficient. Pero, ikaw
So,
ba, Gracie?
yeah.
For us, yeah, I can really agree na there are syncs na that I benefited from, and then there are things that I didn't benefit from. Or if you think of, like, I don't know if it's a psychological thing, yung mga required syncs na sabi nila, oh, this is not gonna be recorded. Yun yung mga, yun yung mga syncs na, like, when I go there, I don't understand anything.
Same. Oh my God.
You're like, oh, it's required to go.
I'm sure, I'm pretty sure you can ask your classmates to record for you. May mga gumagawa ba nun?
Oo naman. Pero, like,
Or
I only do it. Kasi there are sometimes kasi they give graded, I'm not sure if it's actually graded, pero they give activities for all of us to do in the class. Eh kung absent ka, then madadali na lang yung groupmates mo, 'di ba?
that's
So
true.
there'll be less people. That's the sad part. And I'm also very lost when I do it anyway. So maybe they didn't actually benefit from me being there. So yeah. Wait lang. Pero wait lang. I think I was gonna say something after that. Yung with synchronous sessions, I think that actually you can interrupt me kasi nawala yung
Train
idea.
of thought.
Train of thought ko. Yes.
And then, pero to back up Gracie's claim, yung record sync sections. Yung sa akin, in my case, hindi siya graded recit. Like, di naman kami forced to recit. It's more of parang may dinidiscuss na forum things. Sabi, okay lang. Pero, napapansin ko, like, I've asked around the class, and they don't understand what's happening. Na parang, kasi, in that class, kasi parang, it's your responsibility to watch ahead. Ganun. Pero sometimes, kasi, it's so hard to keep on track with like studying ahead. Kasi you're catching up with other things pa. So parang some students, yung may magandang things yung mga yung mga hindi ka, o yung wala kang alam, pero paglabas mo may alam ka kasi maganda yung flow, yung pagbigay ng information. Hindi lang yung parang nag-a-assume na, hindi lang yung parang like it helps yung na nagpasa ka, kaya mas madali mo tong understand, pero let's try our best to like di naman dumb it down pero like padalin pa rin yung pagbigay ng content sa mga hindi masyadong prepared sa lecture ganun.
Actually, I'll add to that then. Like for us, what they do usually is that they give a few modules asynchronously for how many sessions? Like 3 sessions. And then on the fourth session, we have we have a Zoom meeting just to summarize kind of summarize what we talked about, like the important points to look forward to in the test. Tapos yung if ever anybody has questions, 'di ba? What I also remember nung high school was that like for stat especially, 'di ba, usually it's given to you in a really um a linear format na okay, this test is used for this is how you have a whole session just for one type of test, like yung mga variety test ganun. And then eventually you're just going to be given this whole information na document style, and you can't really organize it in your head. So when you go to the review session naman, right before the peryo, like kahit wala kang alam, you're gonna still learn something from the summaries that they're going to make, from the graphs that that they're writing on the board. So like you visualize it better. And I think that's what synchronous sessions are good at. Like
Mm.
just being able to put things together and like also ask questions. Because I also ask questions to my friends during the sync class na hindi ko na
Mm.
tinatanong yung prof.
Okay.
It actually really helps though, because like you're all present and doing the same thing, diba? So like
Mm.
it's the katumbas niya yung you're asking a seatmate about this one topic, and you're very sure that they're looking at the same topic as you are. You're not disturbing them while they're, I don't know, eating dinner. So yeah, I think that's another pro to it.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Okay, how about ito naman? Parang, well, this more of, I think this rant that applies to either student or teacher. Um, uh, outside of work are emails. So, what are your ideas about na parang, okay, parang whether you're a teacher or you're a student, and then you get an email at 10 p.m., parang, dapat ba parang, no, I'm not going to look at that until 8 a.m. the next morning, or is it the kind of na, as in talagang a solid rule na I'll only look at it pagka work hours na, or is it going to be the type na nako baka emergency to, so fine, I'll look at it and then I'll try to deal with it. What's your experience, what's your opinion?
Ako, I usually I don't do emails sa gabi unless nabigyan na ako ng expectation na sasagot yung teacher. Like, you just have to give me, okay, if they don't say na they allow outside work at like what time, then I'll send it at 8 a.m. or ganun. Diba? Like, parang common decency lang na ganun. Like, pero yung ayaw ko lang usually is yung mga, yung mga, I'm actually fine with outside of like school hours na emails from teachers,
Mm.
as long as the thing that they like the email is about isn't like something the next day.
Mm.
Kasi parang, how do you expect us to read it at 11 p.m. if it's like, siguro sure if okay naman siya kung lahat naman nagpupuyat, pero pero kung hindi naman ganun, parang kawawa din yung mga ibang students na mga natutulog. Awit na lang.
Mm.
Yeah, parang feeling ko lang, just have to set your like, early on na, okay, you can email me at this time. And like, if ganito kayo mag-email, you just expect a reply ganun early on bago pa magkaroon ng weird inappropriate times. Or like, kung may email siya na announcement, at least man lang mag-apologize ka, or like, don't make it something serious or something very heavy after. Okay. Tumingin ako sa comment ni Hans right now. Kilala ko
Comment ni
yung
Hans.
prof na may isang prof na nag-email ng 1 a.m. and kilala ko yung prof na yun.
Students
Pero
to send emails to him at that time.
hindi ko na lang sasabihin.
Okay.
Hindi, I mean, siguro it sets an expectation, pero if ganun, hindi okay lang. Pero I wouldn't risk it. As a student, I wouldn't. Ikaw ba? Kayo ba?
I mean, I know I always schedule my emails to profs sa 8 a.m. 8
Mm.
a.m. Mga 10 pwede rin. Pero from what I remember, wala naman na kailangan urgent. Yeah. Except for yung mga nagde-dibs. Alam mo yung parang magde-dibs ka ng groupmates and everything. So, lagi ako nadadali doon. And I'm always the one who's late because I really don't check my emails that often. I just get notifications. Tapos minsan, like, di ba, minsan hindi siya nagda-notify sa'yo, which is so sad. So, as long as it's something that you can be late for, then it's fine. Just not something that you have to reply to right away with a deadline. Because
Mm.
I'm
Sir,
definitely not gonna reply.
ikaw ba, sir? have who's the worst offender? Who's the worst offender in your case this year? We want to know.
Stamp.
And I mean, I guess less. Okay, yeah, there were a few, pero more coming to mind, recently is not necessarily it's late, in terms of work hours, but it's late in terms of, I mean, tapos na yung deadline, so parang doon pa lang siya magbibigay ng excuse, or doon mo lang siya, so parang yun yung medyo, I mean, if you're going to excuse yourself from a deadline, maybe do it before the deadline para it can be considered.
Nagpaparinig na to, sir.
I don't think my students watch me though. Sa stream. I hope not. No, pero I mean, I think I've been clear naman. Parang I think I said naman sa start ng class ko na, yeah, you can ask for extension, but whenever I have three components whenever you ask for an extension for me, or parang you want to be excused. So, one, give me an excuse na whether or not valid or hindi, parang say na, oops, nakatulog ako, hindi ko nagawa, okay, fine, whatever. I'll give you leeway for whatever excuse you come up with. And then the second one, well, actually the first one was supposed to be na you email me before the deadline, parang a good amount of time before the deadline. Wag naman yun. Kasi if you email me 10 minutes before the deadline and say na, sir, hindi ko ito matapos, parang I'm sure you knew na hindi mo matapos like an hour before or maybe earlier in the day, na parang, okay, parang you can tell me beforehand and then para we can excuse it. And then the second one was, give me the excuse. The third one is, give me a date when you think you'll finish it. So, parang, wag niyong kasi kung ako yung mag-iisip ng deadline para sa'yo, baka kulang pa rin, tapos hingi ka ulit ng deadline. So, those three rules, I'm pretty sure I mentioned them in all my classes at the start. I mean, not everyone does them, pero but yun yung yun yung expectation ko. So, I mean, but expectations are different sometimes, so doesn't always follow.
I think, sir, the third rule is really good kasi hindi na burden mo yung deadline. Like, whatever they say, it's their responsibility to own up to it, whatever. Like, honestly, if ako yun, and then I give a deadline na hindi ko ginawa, that's wala akong valid reason, like a family emergency or, oh my God, I had to take care of this. Wala, I'll take the L. That's me. Akala ko, kaya ko, pero awit pala. Hindi ko na, that means, it's either may busy ako with something na came up, or kakastart ko lang ng project kaya hindi ko alam kung ano yung time na kailangan. Kaya nag-assume na lang na ako na kaya ko tong date na to. Diba?
I keep thinking about it talaga. Parang, like, the way that we're talking about deadlines and requirements now is like parang really putting on responsibility on the students. Pero like, now that I'm thinking about it, like, how old are your students now?
Well, I mean, grade 10, so these are normally 16, 17.
Oh, okay, that's a good, I guess that's a good way. Parang, if ever anybody's watching this, then like it's still just a process of getting used to having that responsibility, diba? Like you getting used to having your stuff together. Having your stuff together. So,
True.
yeah, I mean, diba, it's just, I honestly, nung high school din tayo, like, ako yung talagang wala akong pake sa mga deadlines and everything. You just get stuff done and you submit it whenever possible. Pero, I guess it was just really a habit that had to be formed to get, to actually follow through with your plans and everything. Yeah. But it's really hard. It's hard. As long as you're able to do it.
Yeah. Meron bang sir, rant na hindi Hindi ACADS related. Or wag deadline related. Wag deadline
Deadline
related.
related.
Deadline related.
Let's see. Let's see. Hindi deadline related. Behavioral related. I mean, wala man ako masyadong behavioral problems sa mga class ko kasi, I mean,
Mababait mga students na yun.
Yes.
okay. Now, for there to be behavioral problems, parang there needs to be some semblance of personality in the class, which is absent in my class. I mean, okay, no, but honestly, I understand that na parang it's hard to create a personality in an online class. Kasi yun nga, parang what does that entail? Na parang you recite often, that you that maybe you turn on your camera, which I mean I don't think anyone does except for the teacher. So, or you establish a relationship outside of the class hours, na you go for consultations. So it's really hard to and plus there's the Sir Q would always, I mean, if before he would always tease me about parang being very bland in class, na parang sa board lang ako natingin for 15 minutes and the rest is exercise period. It's even worse online kasi yan, basically monologue lang ako for the entire, I'm squeezing what used to be 3 hours of lecture, or sorry, 3 hours of class, which is part lecture, part I'm squeezing everything into a 50-minute lecture. So it's now that we're going back to in-person work, not yet in-person class. So all of the teachers are in the faculty room. We're on our laptops and trying to give our class in the faculty room. So you start to hear the other teachers how they give their online classes, and honestly, other teachers are they're very good at actually having their students participate. Katabi ko pa naman si Sir Vlad kasi Sir Vlad is the cubicle next to me, so I hear him all the time. And talaga, syempre may rest si Sir Vlad. So, and but he knows how to get his students to speak. Kasi I think I tried in my first year of in the first few sync classes, but it would always throw me off na parang I try to lecture dynamically, na parang okay, this and this, what do you think? And then mag-aantay ako, and then it's just awkward silence, and then okay, and then yeah, that's right. parang Aladora the Explorer na. So I mean, after a while, I just I'll just monologue. I mean, I can just monologue. So yun lang if ever yun yung parang medyo, I mean, though it's more of a pivot myself, parang I can't make my class more dynamic in an online setting. Kasi dati, I mean, if you guys remember our class, I mean, my lectures were pretty boring, parang pretty straightforward. I pretty much just I handled you grade 9, so that was the one where I'd sit at one of the computer units with the projector. Natalikod ako to half the class, and then the back half of the class would pretty much do whatever they want while I try to lecture. And then parang I try to do that. I lecture for 20 minutes, and then the rest is exercise period. And then I interact with you during that exercise period. I walk around, I look at your work, I talk to you. Wala nang exercise period eh. So that's medyo yun yung medyo nawawala sa akin.
But I mean, pwede naman, sir. I think you can, if you have enough time, I think you can instill that exercise period. Then, siguro 1 to 2 exercises, tapos magtanong ka on kung kamusta yung code, ganun, tapos they ask kung bakit ganito yung mali, tapos ganun. I think kasi ganun yung yung parang nagustuhan kong sync dito so far. That's my fave. Yung parang may exercise period after the lecture na short, tapos parang very on hand ka kung paano mag-solve ng problem. And then parang after kung maraming ganun, and hindi siya assuming na parang alam mo na yung gagawin mo. Parang siguro you could say it's step by step, pero may sense of like practice per problem. Ganun. Yeah. Pwede naman. I think kaya. Pero, syempre, kailangan talaga mag-attend ng mga tao first before. Wow.
Actually really like that. Like working like it's just the the side thing na parang sana hindi required. Kasi whoever does come, ibig sabihin that they're the people who are like really ready to do things, diba? And they really wanna they're just really in the zone to work and learn about stuff. Kasi maganda yung mga lab na yun na you're able to just like do things, like just apply what you've learned, and then you're able to solidify what you've learned through that. Yeah.
I mean, siguro yung iba kasi nakakaya nilang kailangan may incentive on how to participate din. Kasi kung walang incentive.
Walang incentive. Yeah, you can say optional work na parang +1 or 2. 1 or 2 points, ganon. Some people do that. Yeah. Wow, we're giving sir ideas.
Siguro na sir, kung participate sa resit. Like, a good incentive, pero not something that they can abuse of just by participating like once or twice.
Yeah.
Or like at least one lang.
Work, if you get it right, then you get the points.
Pwede. Basta parang kaya naman. Parang kaya. Yun nga lang. Sana man take advantage. Hindi like, not abuse, pero ma-take advantage ng students yung sync sessions na ganun.
Actually, parang one thing that since it's fourth quarter right now, and Mike's seeing fourth quarter, so I pretty much said na okay, sync session is going to be pretty much to help you with your projects. So something new that I'm doing this year is I made a Google form na okay, submit your bug reports here. Parang okay, here's my code, here's what it doesn't work, and then in the sync class parang sana people attend so I can pretty much demonstrate how to fix it, how to So
alam ba nila sir, like do you tell them na okay, what you submit here, aayusin natin siya during the sync? Parang ganun.
I mean, okay. I tell people who are in the sync class, I will send an email, so hopefully they read it.
I think parang sometimes it's also parang you're kung ganun sir, if you try everything, hindi mo na kasalanan yun at that point.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just up to the student to reach out talaga. Pero yeah, talaga. I'm not saying I'm that student kasi I'm also a bad student sometimes.
I can say that I'm a bad student a lot of
times. May
nagyayabang
ka sa akin na or are you saying in general or parang in my class?
Which one?
Yung you're a good student or you're a bad student?
No, in like not naman in general. Grabe, I'm a good student also. Like my favorite class, I'm a good student there. I've attended all syncs. Actually, I skipped one because I had to. Pero others, I've attended. Kahit di ako prepared. Pero yung ibang bad, parang yung times na bad student ako, ba? Yun yung medyo swamped ako with other things. So hindi mo
priority.
Hindi ko priority. Sorry. Ikaw ba, Gracie?
Ngayon, dati bad student ako, for sure. I really admit I was a bad student before. Yung ngayon kasi parang kung ano yung trip mo talaga, aralin mo, di ba? I really love my course so much to the point that I'm just really like really happy to just be able to learn. So dati parang I mean like it's not like I hate the prof. It's not like I hate the teacher that therefore I'm not going to do well in the class, diba? Like wala naman akong galit. It's just that like not like if you're not doing something that you're 100% that you want to 100% want to do, then you're not gonna do it well, or like
Mm.
it's gonna be hard to do it like really well unless you have some type of other motivation, like external motivation from parents, peer pressure from friends, or like I don't know, something that's like pushing you to get like perfect grades, like wanting to go to college abroad, diba?
Mm.
So it also has to come from there, somewhere there, that you're gonna wanna do well in that class, even though maybe you're not a comp sci person, diba? Or maybe you're not a I don't know. So that's my take on it. Like being a bad student. Maybe you're not a bad student. You're just an unmotivated student.
Yeah. Side note lang, super side
Mm.
tangent to, pero feeling ko talaga, like, yung mga pagiging bad student, good student, na-offset yan pag nakilala mo talaga yung student mo. Like you know their personality, ganun. At least yun, di ba?
Na
Kami,
offset as in
Oh, Seth.
like,
Yeah.
di ba?
Bad student ako, pero friends pa kami ni
O,
Sir
di ba?
hanggang ngayon, di ba? Like, you don't have to do 100%. Like, you don't have to be the top student in the class to be able to like enjoy the class to a certain extent, di ba?
Alam kung
Mm.
kilala ka ng at least kilala ka ng teacher
Oh,
mo, tas, or ng fellow classmates mo, di ba? At least may connection pa rin.
may
Ah.
connection ka kasi pinagsabihan ka na ilang beses. No?
May reminder na lagi every daily email. You're 5 days behind the submission date.
Kachat mo lang yung prof na. Siya lang yung kachat mo.
Wow. Pero, yun yung side note to. Anyway, paano pa meron?
Kayo ba, meron ba kayong mga what things that you'd like to, parang these are the things that students rant about or they complain about in general?
Oo, meron ako. Pero,
Ah.
it's more of a Philippine education system
Sige.
rather than
That's interesting.
than like, kasi, daughter. Oh, so, meron kami mga, friends in abroad.
Okay.
And then, yung pansin lang namin, may buhay sila.
Okay. Elaborate.
Hindi kasi, parang, syempre sometimes kasi parang kaya namin lumabas, ganun, pero in exchange for what? Or like akad, so parang, lumabas ako, pero at what cost? I have to cram this shit this sheets or modules after. Pero yung iba, parang, di ko alam, siguro ganun lang talaga kasi social media na nakikita ko. But, nakikita ko, uy, parang lumalabas sila, parang they have time to go out, ganun. Meanwhile kami, parang, I think get out. I spend my whole day doing ACADS. What the hell? Siguro, parang napansin namin na, ayun nga, parang, ang daming oras kailangan ilaan towards schoolwork. And like kunti lang talaga yung time na to do other stuff. Like, siguro ganun din sa PISA, ganun din sa amin. Pero, or baka ganun din sa course ko, ganun lang. Pero, ano yun, parang, why is there so much time for ACAD? Like, can't we, di ba, can I get enough time to actually enjoy my life a bit? Kahit paano. Di ba, ikaw, Gracie?
Actually, yeah, that's so true. Like, di ba, I always tell Ryan all the time, parang it's just the system making us feel bad for wanting to have lives other than being a student. Kasi, like, you're being pressured to have, like, kung UP, I guess kung UP ka, or if you're in a really hard course, like, sina Ryan, like, you're pressured to just stay alive, and, like, being able to just keep up is so hard, diba? So hard just to, like, for us naman, it's, like, being able to stay on track is parang like you have enough social support naman to stay on track, pero to be able to like, kasi you have to really get good grades in order to be in order to get to that level of professionalism, like you're actually going to pass the licensures. So parang in how do I say this? My take on it kasi is that you have to get a good enough it's hard to balance kasi the load and then the time. Kasi you want to finish college within 4 years, diba?
Mm.
Or like, kasi if you make that any longer, you're going to be staying at home longer, you're going to be at school longer, you're gonna have more expenses. It's economically just bad in a
Mm.
way. It's nice that we have free education, but if you think of it like for other schools, for people in other schools, then it's a burden for them to be delayed.
Mm.
So like the thing with that, kasi I feel is the thing with that is I just hope that profs know that there's like just enough that you can give to a person in order for them to be ready for the future. Because I
Mm.
like that's like the main goal for the whole education system. Like making people ready in order to be not just working working individuals, but then individuals in general. Like if you're going to teach them this certain thing, like, and you're gonna give them so many outputs on it, like just do more projects and everything, how is that going to help them pass, yeah, you can pass their boards, or so, or even treat their coworkers well, diba?
Mm.
So my take on it is that like a lot of the load is just a lot for a lot of courses, a lot of the load is just unnecessary.
Mm.
Hot take ba? I don't know. Maybe it's a
Honestly,
cold take.
mm, maybe ano, it's definitely something that's been mentioned ano, pero uh, ako may ano eh, I think I have an angle there eh, na parang maybe a bit different na maybe I've mentioned it on stream before. I don't, maybe not. Pero yung I remember talking about it before, maybe on stream, off stream, na personally, I'd prefer na wala ng grades. It's either you pass or you fail. Kasi it's either you know enough to pass or, I mean, you don't. And supposedly, with regards to competencies for board exams, etc. So supposedly, if you pass all of your courses that allow you to take the board exam, then you at least have gone over everything needed in order to to show competencies and pass the board exam as well. Of course, yeah, marang maybe there are some cases na yun nga, parang, of course, there are the people who barely pass, will have to study more. Those who are able to pass by a wide margin, then they're a bit more relaxed. Pero it removes the that need to. Okay, maybe it's another slight teacher slight teacher pet peeve na parang alam mo yung mga mas nagko-consult yung mga yung tentative grade ay 125, 15, parang sir, can we baka naman meron akong extra credit na pwedeng makuha. I mean good for you. Good for you that you're working you're putting extra but I mean you're already doing pretty well. Maybe you have other hobbies, maybe you have other things that you can work on. Maybe you can talk to that person who is not submitting and get him to submit, and maybe you can tutor him if you want. so, so, uh, yun nga, parang, and I think that, I know, honestly, that's, if ever that happens, it's going to take a long time for it to happen. Pero I feel like removing grades in general will be beneficial to the students. Pero one thing na I can think of is ang unang magrereklamo dyan, parents, and possibly maybe employers na parang businesses, kasi they now don't have a way of distinguishing between But honestly, I mean, if the person is competent enough to pass the board or whatever course, then you should be looking at his other what is he doing with this extra time. And pero yun nga, parents yung nakita ko na parang they now have no way of, I don't know, pedestaling their kids.
Maybe.
Yun nga lang eh. Pero okay, like another take on that kasi is that you have I think my brother kind of ranted on this to me because of the college entrance exams. Okay, ba wala na.
Mm.
So now colleges are basing it off of extracurriculars. But then if
Oh.
you think about it kasi like to a certain extent kasi having a lot of extracurriculars is also in itself a
Mm.
privilege.
Mm.
Like you like for what I've talked about that parang having like your current circumstances maybe at home or maybe like for yourself naman like you might have also other like health problems or you might need more space for yourself. So like in those times you're not able to take on a lot,
Mm.
like not as much as other people that they I feel like I've been on both sides pero being able to take on so much is is it's great. It's great if
Mm.
you're able to do a lot that you love and that it's also gonna it's gonna give credit to like yung college mo or employers, how employers are going to see you.
Mm.
Pero yeah, I also don't want that to be a basis for people to get into
Mm.
like parang ano, like you're just gonna do things for a CV.
Mm.
It's yeah, this
Parang
is
you're just
stressful.
padding it. Mm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
diba? It's like you're just really taking extra units in your
Yeah.
just so that you can fill up that paper. I don't like that. Yeah, I just really don't like that.
Siguro yung ano ko dyan
Oh,
is ano eh, parang at least for, yeah, definitely, if you have circumstances that stop you from taking on more curriculars, and my take on that is parang the same idea that parang the idea of ano, maybe a housewife na parang, I mean, people say that parang, I don't know, man, maybe I hope it's not the case nowadays na people quote quote look down on housewife, but I mean, if you were to actually look at a housewife as if it were a paid position, how much would you pay a woman or anyone to cook, to clean, to take care of kids, to ano, parang that's worth a lot. So if there was some way of kind of, yeah, recognizing that ano, that, and including that somehow in uh, in some document that would be recognized, sana mga ano, it would be nice to add to it. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's it's difficult.
mhm.
Okay.
Alright. Ano pa ba? May gusto mo bang rant, Gracie?
We have 10 minutes, so siguro last na to.
Yeah, oh,
Anong last
really?
na niya?
Okay. Wala, may run pa ba tayo?
Uh,
For
sige, parang I'll
schools?
give you if you want parang even one targeted rant to someone specific in in Pisay.
Grabe.
Sige, kahit ako.
Okay, galit si Pisay. Siguro kay Donna. Joke lang. Shoutout kay Donna. Ah,
Pet peeve ko dati kasi yung mga gusto talaga na they want the profs to curve the grade. Like I understand it now why people really want to have high grades. Pero dati like for me as long as the prof is able to is able to teach well na parang
Mm.
critical thinking skills, is able to have good discussions that are enjoyable. I mean that's enough for me. Ngayon parang so much harder kasi 'di ba you really want to get that uno and get
Mm.
the good grade. But I'm also like I'm regressing back to that regressing back to that kind of mindset na parang you're really there just to be able to learn, 'di ba?
Mm.
So sana hindi naman yung sobrang grade conscious na you're already forgetting what you're actually supposed to learn from that class. Of course, it's
Mm.
harder now na online classes profs aren't as oriented to um their students values kasi hindi naman sila sasagot as much, 'di ba? It's harder to
Mm.
get them to speak up, especially if they're in their homes. Like, how are they gonna like say say what they wanna say
Mm.
sometimes? So, yeah, I feel like my only rant from that is like the whole system of the whole grading system.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Sana it doesn't affect the actual learning process as much.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, is there a way na ano? Honestly, I
Di ba,
wish there was na ano.
a factor of that is how society views grades in general.
I
So
mean,
parang,
they equate grades to accomplishment and achievement.
yeah.
Which is, I mean, it's not entirely accurate, but it's not like it's not without basis. I mean, supposedly, or in general, if you do learn, if you do have achievements, then it should somehow reflect in your grade. Of course, it's not always the case, but yeah, it is annoying na parang, especially, I mean, even for teachers na you're a teacher and you know this student can do it. It's just na parang, it's this especially the case for students na the reason why they're failing is because they didn't submit that large project, even though you know they can do it. They pass the exams, or at least some of their seat works are really good. Pero yun nga, grades are they're evidence based, and if you cannot if you can't show that particular assignment or that particular assessment that shows that they've mastered it, yun, doon lumalabas yung yung creativity ng teacher na okay, let's give him some special exam na he can take this and then let's manipulate the the weights of that particular assignment. it's it's some may magic din yung mga teacher minsan eh.
Oo.
Part-time
Isa pa
magician pala si Sir.
Yeah.
Pero at the same time, it does get okay. On the flip side, it does get tiring doing that kasi you kind of have there's a parang formula for each student, and then if you have a lot of students who require a certain formula, parang I mean, yeah, mag-submit ka na lang. Parang I'll extend the line, submit something. Okay. Parang sometimes it's tiring. Parang, so I don't know. But I'm sure we can all agree that it's difficult. Parang whether you're a student, whether you're a teacher, it's difficult. So honestly, best sana at the very least you can hopefully the teachers are able to communicate difficulties. I think I can that's something I can work on. I should tell people na mahirap mag-check ng 20 projects one day before the deadline of grades, so I have to put the deadline here. And I have to start telling the students that, and hopefully the students also tell me na there are reasons why they can't submit, and yeah. Then again, for you guys, medyo mahirap, no? It's hard to connect to your prof pagka college.
Depende. Sometimes kasi ma-feel mo na, okay, itong prof, kaya itong Facebook Messenger, okay lang. Tapos, yung iba, ma-feel mo talaga na there's no use in contacting this prof. Nothing will change, only baka mahirapan pa yung situation niya pag nag-send ka ng email, gano'n.
Ah, talaga?
Diba? Pag sabihin ka pa like, ba't hindi mo ginawa?
Oo. Meron, I've seen a prof. Parang, I want the subject na parang ayaw niyang i-move yung deadline even though may petition na by like 100 plus students. Tapos parang your reasoning was, I don't move the deadline because I want to extract the very best out, and I want to parang filter the very best out of you. Like, what?
I don't like that excuse. Parang, why are you filtering the students? Parang why are you filtering the good? Parang the idea sana is they pass through you all as good students. Parang
Diba?
like pangit. I don't like that idea of filtering.
Like that's what they replied after. Tapos,
Yeah, I really don't like that yung parang yung idea that we're just going to like parang we're just gonna
Matra matibay. Parang ganun.
bad people. Grabe. Ayoko nun.
parang ano, it's more of like, and then like sometimes people say, oh, it's hard kasi ano, we wanted, like we want the ano, yung mga magagaling talaga, sila talaga yung makakuha. Hindi, hindi mo ibig sabihin nun na parang there is a gap between like yung how the lowest scoring people like understood your lessons. Diba? Like, parang may problema doon. At least parang, pero there's a point na parang you make it challenging. Or to the point na parang you make it challenging na super kailangan talaga big brain, top 1% ka or something to get it. Usually, yung mga ganun, they know something that you don't or they picked up on something that you iba or hindi masyadong na-bring up during class. Parang ganun. Yeah.
Pero yun, sana at least ano, I wish that teachers would at least respond professionally to any email that they receive that was sent to them in a professional capacity as a student. So
Tama.
Sana yun, parang ano, so if student messages formally, professionally, dapat sana professional din ang reply ng teacher, even if it's to disagree na sorry, I won't, I'm afraid I cannot extend the deadline or kung naman, pag naman yung ano pag naman yung yan kasi
funny yung opposite case though, yung ano, yung hindi formal yung pag-reply pero it's an agreement. Parang, sir, like, good day, Sir Tarcy. Good day, Sir Tarcelo. I am one of your students in Beryllium 2020. I have emailed you to ask for an extension because I failed to do this project in advance due to my academic workload, gano'n. Tapos re-reply na lang ni Sir Tarcy, okidoks. Yung mga gano'n.
Parang, can you ever imagine me emailing that?
Dude, some profs do that for us then. Like, yeah, sure. Okay, tapos may smiley pa.
Sa akin kung walang emoji, sabi, okay. Sige.
Okay.
Yung sige yung ano, hindi SIGA, yung SGE. Alam mo, text.
I mean, ano, okay yun, parang at the very least, parang medyo pamparelax,
Pero pag it's like na, I can't do it, no? So yung sasabihin lang niya, hindi. Oh my God! That's gonna send shivers down my spine.
Yoko.
What I do?
Gusto mo ba ano, parang, ano bang informal na hindi? Parang,
formal na
hindi. Ano ba?
Yoko.
Hindi. Parang ayoko kasi parang nagluloko lang eh. Ano? Hindi pwede. Hindi lang.
Bawal. Sorry na lang.
Uy, pwede. That's funny. Pero matatakot ako as a student.
As a student, yeah.
Sabi ko, is this drop time? Drop na ba? Deadline na ba ng drop? Hindi pa. Sige, drop na natin.
Yeah, I think that's it for today. Thank you guys for joining me, and thanks for insights. Parang I think may napulot din ako na. So, and to everyone who's watching or who will watch this in the future, I hope you're able to, at least enjoy this time with us. We were just talking about the different things maybe that we were complaining, but also at the same time, sana nakita nyo na you're also hoping for sana may there's something better that will come. So yeah, thank you all for joining, and we'll see you next week. Bye.